Hi, in this video, let's talk about goals, why we set them, how we should set them, and what are they really. So let's start with what are goals really? Goals are just a direction that we give ourselves to fulfill a desire we have. That was something that I just came up with, but our goals often stem from our thoughts, and our thoughts come about by our desires. So let's see. When we desire something, it's because we currently do not have it. So we make that our goal to acquire that thing. So this is where a lot of people make mistakes. Is the goal is to they try to make the goal the acquisition of that thing that they desire. But what they forget is the best goals are the goals that help you stretch, they help you change your identity. So the goal is actually to become somebody or a character, an identity who would actually get that thing that you really, really want. That or the other, those are the real goals. But most people forget that fact. So when you have a goal, you give yourself a direction, a purpose, depending on how the goal was generated. Because if you don't have a goal, society will assign you one. Then when society assigns you one, you see people who, regardless of what the goal is, you literally see people who build massive successful companies, but are sort of miserable because they went against their authentic self. This video is not to speak about being authentic because I have made a video of that in the past. But if you see goals for what goals are, you will begin to have some form of understanding to what I'm referring to here. So we set goals to give our life a direction, to give ourselves a purpose, something that motivates us, something that drives us towards something. Because even if you had no goal and you refuse to accept the goal of society, you will drift in life. You will have nothing. You will have nothing. You have nothing basically. And it's okay. If you chose to be a monk, which in itself is a goal. If you listen to all of these guys who talk about detachment, not having goals, literally, they forget that that is a goal in itself. But that's not the point of this video. So when people set goals, we often hear things like we need to set smart goals. We need to set just one goal we're working towards. But the honest truth is that there's no perfect way to set a goal. So let's zoom out. We have two people. One has a goal to become, they're both 20, same age, same level, everything is the same. Difference now is just the goal. One sets a goal to have $1 million. Another one sets a goal to have $1 million, to start a family, to also have six packs and everything. The guy with just the goal of the 1 million naira would most likely, I didn't say definitely, most likely gets to that goal first, of $1 million first, before the other person. The other person will still get there, but will still achieve every other thing. So the first guy who sets just one goal gets that goal by sacrificing every other thing else in other areas of life. But the guy who sets goals in multiple areas sacrifices speed, sacrifices time. Because to be very honest, and this is something about the egotistic mind, it wants to feel good about itself. That's the reason most people set some vanity goals. I won't call them vanity because in the very end, everything is motivated. Our strongest motivation is vanity. It's egotistic. We want to prove something to somebody else, which is okay, which is fine, which is like fair. But we should set goals that give us some sense of fulfillment, some sense of purpose. And something I want to say is this whole idea of smart goals. If you look at smart goals very well, they come from all of these professional fields. And I say smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time bound. They tell you to set smart goals, but when you get to realize that smart goals are safe, they give you your average, what you think is your average results. But the problem I have with certain smart goals is that People who set smart goals, they set them from their current reference point. And if you look at the life of the most successful people that we try to emulate, they set goals starting with a vision they have, with a long range desire, with a vision, a goal ahead in the future. And they break it down moving backwards, not looking at your current circumstances and setting goals moving forward. That is the real concept of setting smart goals. So I say this over and over again, intentionally, to tell you that you can either choose to sacrifice, but sacrifices, and I would say, are part of it, because whenever you choose not to sacrifice, the thing that you really, really want becomes a sacrifice. We all have 24 hours in a day. So me, I'm a firm believer in setting goals in multiple areas in my life, because I was struck by a statement one day. So I'm in my 20s right now, and then somehow along the line, I told myself that I was not going to date. I would have minimal interaction with women and everything. And that was a conscious decision until I saw a video where the guy says, it would be very, how would you feel if you're in your 30s, you are maybe a millionaire, multi-millionaire, but you can't talk to women. You don't understand women. Women find you boring. I figured that would actually be very painful for me. And like I said, it's okay to be driven by negative emotions. And I discovered that I think I would have to make interacting with women a goal right now. And that is what I have been doing a lot, making that a goal for me, to actively speak to girls, to actively do things that I feel I really care, I deeply care about. And this is why I say you should always be authentic. There are people right now who would not want to trade that relationship, that whole interacting with women for anything, but yet they sacrifice this regardless. So you see where I'm going through with all this. Is it making sense to you? Yeah. Goals give you a direction, and then you have to work towards it actively, knowing that you are slowly becoming something. So when you set goals in multiple areas of your life, you are kind of creating a lifestyle. It's more like lifestyle design. And also, when you create your own goals, your goals that you are intrinsically, that is, you are motivated by them, you are created by them from after like looking at your deep dark desires. You can have dark desires. That's not a talk for today. But when you create them, it will also help you to create a lens that you see the world. So for example, is somebody who sets a goal to be very fit will shape his thought process to eat healthy food. When he sees a diet that would not work, he will detect it subconsciously and say, nope, that doesn't really sound right. I mean, because I saw a research that said people should consume less of protein and it had more of sugar. That diet, to me, already looks stupid from day one. It feels stupid, but people believed that thing. That's why I say, when it comes to setting goals, look at your environment carefully. Most of our goals, yes, they come from our desires. At the same time, desires are planted in our head. That is why I say, as if you're living in recent times, I've gotten to discover that your most important asset is not your money, is not your time, it is your attention. That is one secret that the elites know. That is why the elites keep telling you to either you control your money, but people kind of realize that they are trading their money that the elites are just using them to get more money. So some people who have escaped that rat race now tell you that their biggest asset is their time. The elites know that it's not the time, it's the attention. If you don't believe me, I've ever wondered why. It just takes a microsecond for your eyes to see to look at some thumbnail and title. That's all it takes, and it could potentially take up your time. But if you can focus your attention, and This is why this is not a video for learning how to focus, but whenever I'm working, I usually have a cap around, because when I wear a cap, I basically sometimes I put my bandana around here. I'm mostly seeing only things that are in my front, and it helps to focus. It helps to focus, and it's something that I think people should learn, to block out things, because when your eyes can see outside, and it becomes very distracting. I learned this from horse riding. You see how setting goals can allow you pick little things from areas of life. It allows you to frame your actions, your and if you keep holding your attention to your goal, one day you're going to realize it. So one caution I think people should understand when it comes to goals is, you set a goal for $1 million. Now you see somebody whose goal is $1 billion, and you begin to think you should shift your goalpost. But knowing fully well that 1 billion may not give you any extra sense of fulfillment. Some people want to become billionaires as a way of status symbol. Some people want to become billionaires because they know the impact like they want to give. Some people don't really set the goal of becoming billionaires, but they just set the goal of just building a very big company because they want to impact lives. You see why I recommend a book called Start With Why. When you start with why, when you question your whys, yeah, sometimes you can question or over question and miss the point, but when you question your whys, your motives, you get to realize some things can be engaged in, some things should not even be considered. Also, when you start working on your goals, because you have to take action to your goals, you hear people, maybe for a business goal, you hear people talking about how they work for 13 hours a day, 14, 15 hours a day. And you kind of think that should be you. Mind you, that person only has just one goal. But you have multiple goals because you have designed your life already. You have designed what you want to see happen for yourself. So you begin to work as aggressive as him. But this is the catch. Action is not like a linear thing where you get 5 times. So if you work out for 1 hour and you have 10 units of productivity, it means if you work out for 10 hours, you will get 100 units of productivity. That's not how life works. That's not how productivity works. And that is where I feel people miss the point. When they have goals that are extrinsically motivated, that is, they are doing it because of other people. They think they need to double down, they need to rush the process. And it's like you should find a fine line between productivity and uselessness, stress. And what I like to use is, I like to use the Buddha's philosophy of the middle path. You take action that is enough to give you results, but not so much to cause unnecessary stress. Stress is needed to grow quite alright, but unnecessary stress can put you in the hospital. Unnecessary stress can cause you to literally reverse the situation at which you're coming from. Are you seeing this concept bit by bit? Are you seeing how everything connects? So, if you have somebody who works 13 hours, who works more than you, hey, he doesn't have your goal. He is not on your journey. And he's not making the same sacrifices you are making. He's making other sacrifices that you do not see. So ask yourself, okay, he's working 13 hours. Would 13 hours help me achieve the goals that I set? If the answer is yes, go ahead, work 13 hours. If the answer is no, it will only help one area, but the other areas that you know you don't want to sacrifice, then why engage in it? Why? You don't have to engage in 13 hours. Like I said, it's not garbage in, garbage out. Because when you're working towards your goals, I said if it's a physical kind of work where you're moving objects, where if you're moving objects constantly, even your body will break down. If you're moving objects constantly, the more you stay into it, the more you need to get. But I believe we have evolved beyond that. We're all working with our mental faculties. So the more we do it, doesn't mean we get more results. At some point, it even gets worse. It could anything beyond 2 hours, 3 hours, or maybe 4 hours for that flow state thing. Beyond 4 5 hours, it's insane. Take a break. People don't believe that resting is a part of productivity because of should I call it hustle culture? Yeah, I'll call it hustle culture. They don't believe that rest is a part of productivity. So you should move at your pace. And the most important point about setting goals is you should know what you are giving a fuck about. That's why I recommend you read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. It's a book that you need to sit down and reread over and over again. Tell you how you should set goals based on what you really care about, what really drives you. Because if you think being a billionaire will make your kids love you, but you value your kids over the $1 billion, then you begin to think and work different. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have both. I'm saying that you can have both. Having kids that love you, at the same time being a billionaire. At the same time. So read this book and read it over and over again. By the way, I made a video on that book because it's a book that lets you think about life, think deeply about what you are doing, to carve your own path and not follow the path of others. So if you stuck with me to the end of this video, I like to say thank you very much. This is a video that I would say I completely freestyled. Some of my videos I do research, but this one I think I've already done some research. I have done things from my experience. So I felt that I might as well just do it. So please let me know in the comment section what is it that I should talk about that is according to my goal, and then kindly share my video with somebody who you know is going to find it valuable. It's share the action that I think pushes the content forward and lets people understand this movement I'm trying to create. And the movement is very simple. It goes like this. The world is currently in a decline, and I personally believe that it is the men who are responsible for themselves and responsible for those around them that can actually either slow down the process or reverse the process or begin a change in society. So that's my belief. Thank you very much. Kindly share my video with somebody who you think is going to like their movement. Talk to you soon, and bye for now.